Today's adventure brings me to Salt Lake City, where there's some birds going by there. It's a little later in the day. It's about 6:30 p.m. as the recording of this Sunday, September 25th, 2022. I am in the general neighborhood where a 1993 classic baseball film took place, the Sandlot. This is the Super Mercado shopping center, grocery store, which does not look to be open anymore. Flip the camera around. Welcome everyone. TheDailyWoo here in the residential neighborhood right over there. In the middle of it is the Sandlot, the baseball field from the classic. It was kind of a makeshift baseball field. It was not a real field. Now, 5-6 years ago, give or take a couple months, I stood in this very spot. I had my drone at the time, flew over the empty lot that is wedged between a bunch of homes that there is no accessibility to. So I have returned, hoping I can get a glimpse from ground level and just see possibly if maybe someone in the area, one of the neighbors, will let me back in there to stand. Holy baseball ground, you could say. This is my Graceland, sir. Great movie. I don't think there's anyone out there that doesn't love the film. There might be a few who do not love the film, but it is a classic by everyone's standards. I'm inviting you to join me. See what happens, and then I might go other places. Join me, shall you? Oh yeah. Yeah, I did the locations like 5 years ago. I think everybody has dogs here. Wasn't the field like right here?
The home plate was here, their dugout was right there.
Oh, the home plate was right here?
Yeah.
Okay. So you think I should walk over there and ask him?
Every time I've seen somebody go over there, I've never really seen anybody back there, but
okay.
I've like said, hey, because they don't have any dogs, and like I've had people like, hey, if you want to put something over the fence, fucking hop over it and stop me on my side. But I've seen them, and they've had one wedding back here the whole time I've ever seen them, and besides that, I've never seen them.
Are those two pieces of wood from the movie? Mm-hmm. Really? Yeah. Can I walk over there and look? Yeah, I don't mind barking. Hey, doggies. Alright, so the neighbor here just said that these were two pieces of wood left over from the backdrop of the movie. And they were here like 5 years ago doing a reunion. And she was saying they might be here next year to do a 30th anniversary retrospective. She said the only people who've been back here were the cast and crew from the film. So this is where it all was. In fact, you could see this building right here in the movie itself.
Okay. And in the movie, you can see these places here, but they have wood covering on the other side, so you can see.
So the house of oh, gotcha. Okay.
Because you can see this house here.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now I can picture it. Okay, I'm getting it now. That's really cool. Thanks for letting me come pick it up.
So here's a photo here. So that's when they were tearing it down.
Yeah.
So that's that house.
Yeah. Gotcha. So this is where the backdrop was, right here. The backstop.
Right.
Okay. That's cool.
Isn't that cool?
Cool. Yeah.
So it really wasn't that far. It was kind of past where the American flags are, maybe like, I don't know, 50 yards or something. Yeah. So I think you could see all these telephone poles in the film.
Because when I was a kid, because I grew up here.
Oh, you grew up here?
Right down the road. And they still have the field here.
No kidding.
Yeah. And we came and checked it out when I was like 10 years old. But now
that's amazing.
It's all gone, but
I've never seen any photos of anyone standing in this yard.
Yeah. Back before, see, when I was a kid, these ones, like this was still open to the public as a park.
Oh, okay.
So you could come and, you know, run the bases of the Sandlot and stuff when I was a little kid.
She said sometimes the guy will let people in over there.
Over there?
The guy that owns the house is right here. Right this here? Far one with the sheds and stuff. I might walk over there and ask.
Yeah. Did you buy it? You like the movie?
I love the movie, yeah.
Yeah.
I was here, I'm from Florida, I was here about 5 years ago. I did all the locations and I flew a drone over this.
Oh, cool.
But I wasn't able to stand on the spot.
Yeah. Well, there it is.
She said that like next year they're going to do the 30th anniversary of it.
That's cool.
That's the rumor anyway. Looks like someone tried to climb over this. Look at that's amazing.
There it is.
So you got to run the bases. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I was like 6, 7 years old. And the field was kind of still the field, you know?
Yeah.
But obviously now it's cool that at least they kept it a field.
Yeah, it goes way back. If you look at the satellite image, it goes all the way over there. Okay, I pulled up a screen grab here. So the camera is, I'm basically standing right here in the middle. So I'm kind of in the middle of these two homes. So the backdrop, I'm standing right at the backdrop. In fact, right home plate is, as she was saying, is right in front of me. So this kind of pink painted house is the red brick house that's next door. And then this house is right over here. So first base line would have been there. So that would not have been the wood from the backdrop. That would, or if the back behind home plate, that would have been the wood from the first base dugout. And then you got third base line right here, right down this line. And then this house, I believe, was painted a different color. But as you can see in the photo, so behind me would be the mountain. I said mansion. The mountains would be directly behind me. So I'm standing exactly right in the middle of the screen. So where they all rode their bikes in and all that, would it basically be down the third base line, which would have been kind of like right down here when they all rode their bikes in like that. And here's a wider angle, kind of seeing the whole expansiveness. Now there is a tree over here. Okay, let me just take a look at this. So you see over here is the dugout for the first base dugout. That is where those little pieces of wood are. And this tree could be the tree over there next to the neighbor's yard. Just obviously it's had almost 30 years of growth. But I think that might be the tree. And take a look over here, you can see the same telephone poles as well. Which right there, you got the telephone poles. And then those trees I was talking about, all down there on that end. Kind of zoom in on those pieces of wood there from the dugout. I believe they have put their dogs away. They have chickens too and roosters here. But yeah, I mean, I don't know for certain if those are screen use, but they probably are. Probably screen use. And then look over here behind this truck. You see that barn right there, that little shed? That can be seen in the film as well.
A different property from it?
Like all the way down? Because the movie was just basically just one lot. Just where that fence is there is kind of the end of it. And then I think James Earl Jones' house was there.
Owns this part, and it's just kind of sectioned out into 4 people.
So he even has, it's even kind of fenced off there. I guess you got to walk through a side yard.
No, you can go right through it right there.
Oh, you can?
Straight from his driveway.
Okay, maybe I'll walk over there and ask him. Have you met him?
I've met.
You never met him?
The only time I met him was during that wedding when I had to bring in my dogs.
Oh, okay. All right, I'll walk over there.
Besides that, no.
Thanks for all the info. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Have a good day.
Thank you. All right, I'm gonna walk around there and see what happens. This is probably about the closest I've ever been. Thankfully, the people who own this house, they were out in their yard. They were kind enough to give some information. And then the other couple that was here, the guy that was saying he grew up here, he also just kind of came by. She said that a lot of people all day long stopped by and would not have walked up in their yard if this lady was nice. In fact, there's a neighbor right across the street kind of staring at me, and another one right there watering their lawn. I don't know how kind they would be. Maybe they would be, but this is about as close as you can get, I think. We'll walk over and talk to that neighbor. Seen any Babe Ruth, Great Bambino signed baseballs around here, dog? Hello, dog. I love that everyone in this neighborhood has dogs. Literally everyone, just like the movie. This is very interesting, not only dogs, but there are a lot of bunnies in this neighborhood, bunny rabbits in this neighborhood. There's one there, there's 3 or 4 over there. Hello, bunnies. There's even another one over in that yard. Very interesting. Wonder whoever owns these gave them names from the Sandlot. Wonder if one of them's named Squints. Possibly. Possibly. Okay, I was looking for someone out in their yard in this area. No one out in their yard. I didn't want to walk up, so where the bunnies were. Where the bunnies were, you had to walk way up in someone's yards, and it said beware of dogs, so didn't want to go up there. I was hoping maybe one of those neighbors would come out too, but didn't happen. Goodness gracious. Just like real life Sandlot. It really is incredible how the entire houses all engulf where the Sandlot would have been. So it's all behind these houses, fences, lots of dogs, lots of areas where you cannot really go into anyone's backyard to get the angle. So thankfully the one neighbor was out and she was kind enough to let me kind of look through that one fence. Now taking a look at this satellite image is very interesting. So right on the corner of these two roads, I am where the blue dot is. Where I was kind of standing, really the only view you can get in is kind of over here to the side. So right here in this center point, you can see there's a little open area. And the neighbor in this house was outside. She was the one that let me walk up to the fence line. And this neighbor over here was out watering the lawn and whatnot out front. And I didn't talk to him, but I did talk to her how she let me kind of stand in this very corner. So right here was the playground Sandlot as well. And I guess who owns the property is over here, and could not get them to come out. I didn't want to walk up in the yard because there's so many dogs and their house is kind of offset from the road. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You could just see how lengthy all that is. So all this up here was not used. It was pretty much all right here. And James Earl Jones's house was kind of like at the top of where the screen is. So it's just kind of that little area right there. But you could just see how expansive all the empty little lot is here in between all the homes. But all these houses have no access into that empty field at all. And this lot here is completely fenced off. So it's like, even though you can't really see it, there's no way in to that area without asking permission. And I don't want to jump a fence. Kind of impromptu, impulsive. So the neighborhood is over here, so I'm looking at it from this little area. You see the side where I walked over there to get the peek in was down that way, and I believe who owns the property is down that way. And you could just hear a lot of dogs barking. Now they've stopped. Okay, there they go again. Now they're camera shy. Even though I did not want to jump the fence, obviously. Probably wouldn't have been the wise. I don't need one of those dogs coming after me, or, you know, one of the property owners, which there are about 25 property owners around the expanse of where the Sandlot was. I was able to walk up to the fence and see some screen used items that were there from the dugout. Never seen that before. When I was here 5 or 6 years ago, I was in that parking lot, kind of did an overhead perspective. Did not get that close. That's the closest I have ever been to baseball 1993 Sandlot film history. Nailed it. And as I pass this cul-de-sac here, away, go back up to my rental car. Oh, there's a bus going by. Utah Transit Authority bus going by. Here's a community garden over here in this little section. In this neighborhood. Let's see what else there is in this area. Okay, back in the car now and still in the neighborhood, but gonna be heading over to a store that was used in the movie where I saw something online that possibly a mural was painted on the side of it. But take a look at these peacocks here. This is in the same neighborhood from the Sandlot. Pretty close to where the bunnies were. All right, see you up doing a little digging, buddy? Doing a little digging? And you can see the sun is just about over the mountains over there. I have made it over to Midvale, to the Vincent building, and I'm gonna walk around downtown. Driving in, it's kind of empty. There weren't a lot of people on the street, so it should be an interesting stroll through Midvale. I believe it's called Midvale, M-I-D-V-A-L-E. About 10 minutes south of Salt Lake. Where over here on the back side of this building, the Vincent building, referred to as, they're doing some construction. Used in quite a few movies, including The Sandlot. Get a better perspective from the front. Looks like this fence has been kind of pulled back. I don't see any dogs in this area though. No, it's not pulled back. It's just kind of bent back. They've put it there as well. They may be tearing this down, possibly. Now, when I was pulling in here to park, I did notice that the mural is official. It still remains. Sometimes when you see stuff online and then you get to a place, usually it'll be painted over or changed, but take a look at this. Squints, right here, from The Sandlot, in all his glory, with the sunglasses. That is amazing. Painted on the side of the Vincent building. Looks like you can even see the mountains here in Salt Lake in his glasses. Check that out. Something written on the side here. I'm not sure if that's the artist's name or someone just spray painted their own thing there, but pretty awesome. I think that might be the artist's name. If it's not, my apologies. I don't see any other thing stating who did this. That is great. Because in the movie, The Sandlot, they show the front of this building looking all very, very retro. I'll show the front of it. They walk around the front. Yeah, you can see, not in the best shape. However, there's a pelican. Right here, to quote another movie. Manny, look at the pelican. Fly, pelican. Has nothing to do with The Sandlot. But it does have to do with pelicans. This could have been an old bank, perhaps, you can see. Seen better days. In the '93 film Sandlot, this is what it would have looked like. Still kind of looks the same, except that we're in red there where it says Vincent Drug has changed, obviously. Classic car is not in front either, but this sign's still there. And this is what it looks like current day, modern day, today. There's that sign there where it says Fountain and Cosmetics, that's still there. This very unique architecture, still there as well. It does say open daily on the side, but I don't believe it's still utilized anymore. So where it says here, Rock Springs prescription specials down below. Lowest prices in town. This is so classic. Fountain drinks. They probably had the Grenadine Cherry Coke in there. Sugar-free candy department. We always discount prices if they were. I don't think they're open anymore. Yeah, other than a few random cars that are driving through here, not a whole heck of a lot of activity happening. Granted, it is a little late in the day. It's a Sunday. You know, for Salt Lake City, a lot of places aren't open, but I have a feeling that this place, this town downtown, is not really a beehive of activity. It's also 7:58 on a Sunday as the recording of this. That might, I don't know what that honk was. But Vincent Drugs also was used in Halloween 4, the exteriors of it, and also The Sandlot. And I kind of peeked in the window, and it looks as if the entire place is kind of shelled out and empty at the moment. There's nothing inside the store anymore. Thankfully, the signage is still up there. This is about the best I could do as far as kind of having my light off my phone, looking into the store. You see there's some paint cans in there, and it's pretty empty and kind of gutted out at the moment, which means it's not open daily anymore. There's nothing inside here, just sitting here empty. And the main reason I came down, 10 miles south of Salt Lake to this little downtown was to see the Squints mural, which is over on that side. So it's not over here on the fenced off area. It's more towards the back side of that, near the gas station and convenience store. But since I'm down here, I'm just gonna stroll around. Hopefully Michael Myers isn't around. That would not be good. Not be good at all. But down in the alleys, no shape from what I could see walking these alleys, but there is a cool mural here as well, and the occasional vehicle going by. All boarded up over there. Okay, here's a bank. Well, one of the banks. I thought maybe the other one on the other corner was. But this one clearly says on the corner of First Ave here. This one says bank up at the top portion. I like this building a lot. And the Old Town Tavern. This would be the Old Town area of this community. Old Town Tavern over there. I see a Coca-Cola mural up here. That's good. I love the crickets. This is nice. Look at this. This is actually older. I mean, this is maybe like a newer version painting of it. But this looks very retro as well. This has been here for a while. Yeah, take a look at this. This has been painted on this advertisement and painted on the side of this wall for quite some time. I don't see a date stamp anywhere on it. But that is definitely seen some years. Beautiful. And right over here are some paintings of some of the landmarks here in town. There you go, look at this. This is when it still had the sign across the front. I am still fascinated by this building on the corner though, which I guess there's one bank on the other end of town. Well, they're a couple blocks down the way where I just walked with the theater over there. Continue on, but this does look like it would have been a bank at some point. The windows have been center blocked over as well. Kind of falling into disrepair. Kind of unique architecture up top. And then the Vincent building there, Vincent Drugs right down there. And I'm kind of glad that this mural down here brought me back down here just to walk around the little main street of this town. Pretty awesome. But this right here, this really ties into this episode of The Sandlot. Like I said, I've covered it in the past in great detail. All the locations 5 years ago, but this was not here then. And today was the closest I've ever gotten up to the actual Sandlot in that neighborhood, which is pretty dang cool. And the fact that part of the dugout was still there, just right there on the other side of the fence, that's pretty, I had no idea until today. Part of the dugout from the film is still there. I'm a nerd. Made it back up to Salt Lake now. Capitol building in front of me. Found this parking lot off to the side, around the back side of it. I'm gonna walk up to it here. Noticing how cool it gets in the evening. It's not cold, but if I had a jacket on, I would not be uncomfortably warm. It's a little brisk. You know, hot during the day and cool at night. Unlike Florida, which I will be returning to Florida in a couple days. And not only is there a hurricane heading to Florida, which hopefully in a couple of days when I hop the flight to go down there, that does not delay or postpone that in any way. But in Florida, this time of the year, it doesn't really cool down a whole heck of a lot at night like it does here in Salt Lake. A nighttime walk in Salt Lake City. Very peaceful out here right now. And that's going to do it for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. The vlog is over.